Right. Morning, guys. So I want to actually share something on screen. These are just some teachings about freedom. So we're in Passover, right? Um, Pre-Pesach, Passover starts on Friday night. And I wanted to just offer some teachings about freedom so that we have sort of some thoughts to keep in our mind as we do the practice. So one comes from Reb Nachman of Bratslav. Um, And he talks about that freedom has to do with, it's connected with joy and with the mind. So he says, but know that depression keeps one from guiding the mind in the direction that one wills. It is by means of joy that a person becomes free and goes forth from exile. When the mind is linked to joy, it is taken out of bondage and the mind becomes free. So when we think about slavery and freedom, often we think about embodied, like our physical freedom, and our physical body is somehow enslaved, by someone else, or like in Egypt, or there's slavery in the world today. It's right. People don't have bodily autonomy and freedom, but there's also even people who are bodily free. We can often be mentally unfree, right? Because our mind takes us to places of anxiety, of fear, of regret, of depression, and those mental patterns and habits that keep us stuck is a form of bondage. So he talks about we need to learn how to bring ourselves out of mental bondage, really, to become free. And joy is a part of that. So we'll try to bring that into the practice today. And then Viktor Frankl, who Man's Search for Meaning, he was in the camps in the Holocaust, and he says everything can be taken from a person but one thing, that last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. So that's also very yogic, right? That it's mindfulness is the practice of choosing what we focus our attention on at any given moment. And we can focus on what is causing us pain or suffering, or what is challenging, or our own attitude towards that can feel, again, very constricted. Or we can choose our perspective, our mindset, in a way that opens us up and gives us a little bit more freedom. Oh, here we go. Okay, two other teachings. Thich Nhat Hanh, I might have shared this one last week, but he says freedom is possible. One in-breath alone is enough to set you free from your regrets about the past, your worries about the future, and your projects in the present. And then Bob Marley, my favorite Passover song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourself can free our mind. Okay, so those are my shares, and we'll see where that takes us in the practice. Just okay. All right. So we'll do some things that look at like how we change our mindset and stay, in a good mindset during the practice. And we'll also do things that hopefully make us feel joyful. Some of that, what I'm hearing from some of you this morning that we need is like we're tired and our bodies are aching. So maybe joy is like resting and being on our back and doing things with ease. Not everything has to be always like boom, boom, hard, intense. But okay, so let's start with, let's just start seated, and let's just take some circles here, right? Just like gentle circles to find some range of motion in the hips, the inner thighs. You can close your eyes here. Good. And then just walk your fingers forward, 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 wherever that feels like a stretch for you. As long as your sit bones are still connected to the earth, don't let them fold forward. So you're sitting back, stretching forward. And when you get there, just soften your elbows, tuck your chin to your chest, lengthen the back of the neck. Just breathing into the back body, letting the lungs open with the breath. And then walk yourself back up. You'll switch the cross of the legs. So whichever leg was inside, bring it to the outside. Reset yourself. Good. And this time, let's take a little twist. So you're just going to twist over. The hand can just contact with the thigh. Don't tug on the knee, right? Just rest the hand. And you're just going to sit up as tall as you can in the spine. That starts with a little pelvic floor engagement. The belly lifts up out of the pelvis. The chest and sternum lifts up out of the belly. But then soften the neck so you're not straining the head. Neck, throat are open. Actually try to soften the shoulders down a little if you can. Just taking a little twist. We're going to do some twisting in the practice today because we're still cleaning out that ringing, twisting out of the chametz, cleansing. Good. So it's hard to take a deep breath in here. See what happens when you try to inflate your lungs in this twist. Notice where it's very tight. And then on the exhale, let that whole breath out and twist a little deeper. Good. Inhale up through the center. Take your arms overhead. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Do one more like that. Inhale. And then we'll twist over to the other side. Same thing, just hang out in your twist. Find yourself nice and upright. Find that pulling around through the belly. What is it that you need to kind of bring out, not just in the body, but in the mind? Maybe another way to ask the question is, what thoughts do you keep thinking over and over that don't want to be, don't want to resolve somehow? The thoughts you keep coming back to that don't bring you joy. And as you pull the belly in closer to the spine, as you bring yourself farther over, think about kind of purging, right? That this is like an intention, a kavanah. How can I maybe let some of those thoughts go, at least for the practice, maybe for the new cycle of the year? Good, come on back through the center. Inhale the arms overhead. One more time, just fold yourself forward, forward, forward. Walk those fingertips forward. Tuck the chin. And walk yourself back up. Let's just take a little meditation for a moment before we get up and move. So you can place your palms upright on your thighs and take that finger to the first finger to the thumb, which is just a mudra of looking inwards and finding wisdom, from receiving wisdom from without and receiving wisdom from within. So just take a moment to be here now, be present. And beginning with an awareness of your own freedom and a gratitude for that. In what ways are you free? Bat chorin, right? Nechorin, bat chorin, we're children who are free. Think of the ways that you are able to exert your own free will, your choice in your own life. And in this moment, becoming aware of your physical body. And feeling real gratitude for having physical autonomy and freedom within your body. And observing the ways that maybe you feel unfree, right? Abadim hayinu lefaro b'mitzrayim. In every generation, we can remember that we were slaves. And in this moment, in this generation, how do I still feel enslaved or stuck? Where do I not feel like I can be free? Just notice the stories you're telling yourself. Notice where the mind has answers about all of the things you should and have to and can't. See if you can just bring your breath into this moment, really inhaling with a lot of fullness and ease, filling yourself up with breath. And exhaling any negativity, any thoughts that feel stuck. The last thing we're going to do is find some memory, some experience, something that you know brings you abundant joy. That when you're with these people or engaged in this activity, something that just fills your heart, your soul with so much joy. Let yourself really see and be in the presence of that. And notice that in that joy, it also feels free, like an absence of whatever those things are that otherwise bind you. And just expressing gratitude for experiences of that kind of joy and freedom in life. As you are ready, you can slowly make your way to stand at the front of your mat. All right, find yourself in Tadasana, so your feet are hip distance apart. Just take a look, spread your toes, and then place them back to the mat. Feel like you're really rooting. And then from that place, just let yourself be strong, solid. You can close your eyes again and just take an inventory of your body. Notice where in your body you're gripping or holding on to some kind of tension. Maybe it's in your shoulders, maybe it's in your belly, maybe it's in your heart. Wherever it is, just becoming aware. So mindfulness is about you choosing, having the free will and exerting that free choice of where am I directing my attention in this moment. So even in a moment of recognizing where I'm having some tension or some discomfort, by being aware of that, I'm aware that I'm aware, and in my awareness, I'm free. You can bring your hands together at your heart. Just take some sun breaths, breathing. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. As you exhale, float down over the legs. Keep it gentle, bend in the knees. First time we're holding down. And just kind of shake yourself out side to side, hips rotating to one side and the other. Just opening the outer IT bands. Bend the knees deeply, engage the belly as you slowly roll up and circle through the shoulders. Good. And again, inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, floating all the way down. Good. This time, big inhale sweeps you all the way back up. And exhale, hands to the heart. One more like that. Inhale overhead. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. All right, we're gonna go through some lunges and we're gonna bring some twists involved. So let's have blocks nearby. Okay. All right. So inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhaling over the legs. You're gonna step your right leg all the way back. Good. Make sure your toes are spread. You've got arches lifted. Legs are really rooted. You're gonna come on up and you can keep the front palms on that front thigh. Just find a nice deep lunge there. Good. Good, good, good. Belly is hugging in. Good. You're gonna bend your back knee and then straighten through that back leg. 2 more times. Just bend the back knee and then straighten. Bend the back knee, straighten. Good, good. All right. From here, you're going to take your arms up to the sky. All right. There's your full expression of that lunge. Good. You're going to drop that right hand now behind the left part of your back and use the back of that arm as like a little guide, something you're leaning back into. And now just lean back, but try not to straighten the front leg as you do it. Keep the front leg deeply bent. Yeah. We're just creating a lot of opening in a place that we're tight. And I've said it many times before that on a metaphysical level, the hips hold a lot of tightness and tension, not just because of our daily lives and how we sit, but also the hips represent our relationships, relationship to self, relationship to other. All right, we're gonna come into a twist. So you're gonna take the arms out, find a block under your right shoulder. Yep. And to begin the twist, take your left palm to the outside of that left thigh and press, make sure that because you want the knee to be directed straight forward. So that hand is going to keep the knee guiding forward. And you may even want to find some contact, like the hand presses into the thigh and the thigh presses back into the hand. Give like a boundary there. Do you feel it? Yeah? Okay, good. Good, nice and strong. You feel the strength there? That feeling of like almost scissoring to the midline here. Okay, good. Then you're gonna take that left arm up to the sky. Open up into that twist. If you don't need the block to be as high, you could bring the block on a lower level. You could bring the hand to the floor if you want to go deeper into the twist here. Okay. And then if you want to bind, you can spin that top palm behind you, reach the hand behind your back. There you go. And you're opening up the left shoulder to the sky, maybe opening the throat. But this is a twist, so the belly hugs into the back of the spine. Those right ribs are trying to reach towards the inner left thigh. Yeah. Feel that twist, feel the ring out. Good. Bring that left arm back up. Grab a second block if you have it. You're going to step your back foot in a little closer and you're coming into, from here. Yep, you're coming into a triangle forward bend. Otherwise known as pyramid pose. Good. And just fold in over that front leg. Both hip creases are reaching up and back, so don't drop that hip underneath you. Keep it lifted, but keep the toe pressing down strongly. You'll feel this as an opening across the outer leg into the outer hip. So notice where your mind goes when the body is in a place of challenge, right? When intense experiences rise up, how does your mind get ensnared? What are you telling yourself? And are you believing it? That's the big question. The mind will chatter and tell you all kinds of things, but whether or not you believe what the mind is telling you and react to it, you have a lot of opening for free will in there. All right, we're taking another twist here. It's not going to be pleasant, just warning you. So the right hand down now stays down on the block. The left arm comes up to the sky. Yeah, you're going to feel this. And if you want, that left hand can again bend and come back behind you. And you're opening. The tendency here is definitely to drop that right hip down under you. Try to keep lifting it up. Both hips are lifting up and pulling back. But you're twisting. Yeah. Good. Release that arm back up to the sky. You can take both blocks forward of your front foot now. You're going to step all of your weight into that front foot. The back leg comes straight behind you, like a letter T here. Not quite a standing split. So lower, so the hips are level. Yep. We're doing one more twist here before we go to the standing split. So now, open that left arm up again. This is a revolved half moon pose. Yep, and twists will make you sweat. It is literally burning off like that chametz. We're wringing out, we're heating up. We're trying to eliminate. Good. That hand can come back down to the block. And now you can take that leg up as high as you want. The one that's in the sky, standing split. Relax your shoulders, relax your head. Smile. Good. You'll bend that right leg, bend the knee all the way into the nose, squeeze it in. Take a little core here. Good. And then place the foot back down on the mat. Woo! Shake yourself out side to side. And then bend the knees and roll up to stand. You guys hot? That got me hot. All right. Let's take the second side. I hope I remember that all. If I don't, please help me, okay? Hands to your heart. Let's inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, Folding down over the legs. Good. We're going to take that left leg all the way back now. And you're coming up for the lunge. Woo! And sometimes we wobble and sometimes we don't find the balance right away. So really spreading and planting the feet. That back heel is up and reaching back. Nice and strong here. We're going to just take those 3 bends just to note, this is just about bringing awareness to, well, how is my hip flexor doing this morning? When I try to bend in this way, it's like, oh yes, my quads and my hip flexors are quite tight there. Nice. Okay, now you can stay deep in the bend. Reach that back heel back. Good. Oh, let's take one here. Do this. So bring the arms up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. And then that left hand can drop behind the right. Sorry, I'm like all opposite you guys and looking at different screens, so I get so confused. Which way, what, you guys have your right leg forward, right? Yeah, so your left arm is going to drop behind the right hip. Yep. I'm trying to like mirror what I see you guys doing, but I have no idea if you're seeing me mirrored or direct. It's like you'd think after 2 years on Zoom I'd get this right. It's so confusing. All right, lean back, lean back, lean back, but don't lose the bend in the front knee. Oh, okay. Release the arm up to the sky. Now we're coming down into the twist. Start with the hands on the block higher, and then you can drop lower. But make sure you have enough distance between your front foot and your back foot that you can really like still be opening the back hip. This hand comes as a guide to the outer thigh. And they press into each other, thigh into hand, hand into thigh, with the knee reaching forward. From that place, the belly lifts in and up out of the pelvic bowl. Yeah. And you begin that twist here. And then you take the arm up. So this is like, I don't know if this pose is stressing you out a little. This is hard, right? We feel confined and constricted in twists. Now you're going to take the bind. The hand comes behind you and you can bind. And again, you can drop that block under the left arm even deeper. So when we feel like in a tight place, right? Min ha-metar, karatiya, anani v'merchavya. From this tight place, from this place of constriction in my body, in my mind, I call out to the eternal for help. And help comes in the form of opening, freedom. So how do I link my mind to joy in this pose, even when it doesn't feel so joyful? How can I choose my perspective on it? All right, release that arm. You're gonna find both blocks and you're gonna straighten through the front leg now. Both legs are straight now. So, and that back foot can come down to the back heel can come down to the floor. Okay, so you're coming into that triangle forward bend over the right front leg. I mean, disciplining our mind is really kind of what it's all about, isn't it? You know, how do we become less automatically reactive and have more freedom around our responses? Okay, from here, we did we didn't do a triangle forward twist. Okay, we came into the half moon revolve. So you're gonna step your blocks forward. You're gonna lift the back leg up behind you.
Rob, I think we did maybe a twist before we did that.
Did we do that? That's where did we do the triangle forward bend twist? Oh yeah. Okay, so we did. I thought we just did the half moon twist. Okay, good. So yeah, so you're gonna take your right arm up to the sky here.
I think we did.
Okay, I think you're right. Thank you.
Just want to even out my body.
Definitely. Yeah. And then you could take the hand behind your back and again, take that bind. but try to lift up. Yeah, lift up the left hip crease. Don't let it drop all the way underneath you. Keep pushing down into the right big toe. Feel the twist in the belly. See if you can open up across the upper shoulders. All right, now release the arm. Thank you for reminding me that. Now you're gonna step the blocks forward, step all your weight into the right foot. The left leg comes back behind you, flex the foot, hips are level. Start there. Belly in, hugging up away from the ground, nice and strong. And then take the right arm up to the sky again for the twist there. Let's see how you guys are doing. Oh, yes, no. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Good. Draw energy up the inner leg of that standing leg. Find that Mula Bandha. All right. And then let the left knee come in all the way to your chin or your nose. Squeeze the belly in and up away from the floor. And then place the foot down to the floor and shake yourself out side to side. Good. Roll on up to stand. Let's take a little Warrior 2 series with triangle. And we're going to take a bind in that as well. And I asked you to have a strap nearby if you have one. You know, we'll see. I'm going to turn my mat this way. So, okay. So you're going to, from the front of your mat, you're just going to take your right leg back. Yep. So left foot forward, right leg back. Find your Warrior 2 stance. This is an inner hip opener. Yep. And you want to be far enough that you have space for your hips to open. If you're too close, you're not going to get much stretch. And you don't want the knee to go past the ankle. So get enough width here. Okay, we're just going to play. You're going to let yourself lean back, 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 back. And you could take that front arm, left arm up to the sky. Just opening up the left lung, the left side waist. But notice that this is also really a strong compression and contraction on the right side. So can I stay even-minded? Have some sense of equanimity. Good. And then extended side angle. Take the nice easy version first. The forearm comes to that front thigh. Try to keep the deep bend in the knee. Good. And then this arm can come forward and overhead. So there's a lengthening from that back outer edge of the foot all the way up through the fingers. And there's a little twist in here too. You'll feel the left belly wrapping around and the right side waist opening up here. Good. All right, from here, let's just straighten through the front leg. Hips reach back. We're coming to a triangle. And this is where, let's start with the hands to a block behind the leg. Just stay here in the triangle first. Yeah. All right, and here's where we could play with binding. So you may want to take that right arm, reach it down behind your back, and it can just find like that outer left hip crease and just stay there like that. The other option, if you want to go a little deeper, is you could take, you're trying to get the hands to touch, which is why the strap is really useful here. So the strap extends the length of your arms, and you just take the bind here. Yeah, so that back shoulder is really reaching back. You're really getting a nice twist here. And the strap is just a way to connect that. Good. And then you can bend through, excuse me, you can bend that front knee and come in even deeper into an extended side angle that's found. Yeah, and you could play in this range of motion between straightening the front leg in the bound triangle and then bending that front knee. Just to see. So the body is bound, the body is sort of in this very constricted place, but we can also choose to focus on the opening, on the joy. Release the arms. Good. From here, let's come into a down dog. We haven't done a single down dog all morning. So plant your hands to the floor, step your legs back. Just enjoy your down dog here. Do whatever feels good for you. And then you can bend your knees, either step or jump your feet to the front of the mat. Good. Come on up to stand. And we'll do the second side. Whew. How you guys doing? You still with me? I don't know. I thought I was going to do an easier practice this morning, but then I don't know how it turned out to be so hard. For everything I said about, let's do like relaxing, not relaxing practice. All right, here we go. Left leg steps back, right foot forward, and you're in warrior two on the second side. Yep, so just stay here for a moment in your warrior two. Find that lengthening of the inner hips. Yeah. All right, and then you're gonna lean it back. Peaceful warrior. Good. And then you're gonna extend it forward. Maybe you need to stretch and re-extend those front toes. Really finding space there. Good. And then from here, we're gonna come into, in the extended warrior, I think we brought it behind our back for a moment as well. Just reach that hand behind you. Feel that opening. Good. All right, we're gonna straighten through the front leg, coming into a triangle pose. Yeah. So a lot of downward energy from this hip to the outer heel, and then twisting energy in the torso. The head and neck are not straining. And then the question is, what is your mind doing here? What is your mind doing? And can you free your mind? Can you link your mind to something joyful? Maybe that's just the breath. Maybe sometimes the source of joy in any moment is just the breath coming in and going out, and the awareness that I can calm my breath. In spite of anything else, I have the ability to bring my awareness to my breath and stay calm in my breath. All right, from here, we're going into that bind. So either take the half bind with the hand behind the back, yeah, or you can then grab your strap and find the bind with the strap underneath. So you might want to bend the leg to start, but we're going to go between that, and you can choose, it's obviously your practice. So either stay in the bound triangle, stay in the bound extended side angle, or play between the two of them, which I just find interesting because now you're bound, but also in motion and sort of transitioning from one place to another, but with a, with the strap constricting you in some way. And you have to be really, really mindful when you're doing something like this, right? It's like your attention has to be in the moment, in that front knee bending, in the muscles, in the sensations. Good. All right, you can release that arm back up to the sky. Let's bring it back into a down dog again. And I'm going to give you some options to just do a little bit more core work before we come onto our back. Since we've been playing with twists, you could play with extending to a plank, and then shooting your hips back up to a down dog, but with a twist where the opposite hand comes off the ground and reaches towards the opposite shin. So forward into a plank, the belly drops in line with the tailbone, and then lifting from the tailbone back up and reaching across. So it's a little bit of lower belly core as well as obliques. You can keep coming through this. If you don't want to do that, you could do any other form of core here. You could bring knees to chest, knees to outer elbows. Yeah, that's another way to work with the twist. If you kind of come from the down dog into a plank with the knee hitting towards the opposite elbow. So I don't know if you can see what that looks like. And that's a lot of twisting and core, twisting and core. All right, when you're done with that, lower the knees to the ground, come into a child's pose, rest your head. And just bring your attention to something you choose to bring your attention to right now. And see if you can stay in that attention and awareness as an act of free will. And what is bringing you joy right now in this moment? All right, you're going to sit yourself up. You can either sit on, crisscross on your seat like that. If you have a block or a couple of blocks or a meditation cushion, you might want to sit in more of a virasana stance, a hero pose, with a little bit of an elevated hip. So sitting up, knees come forward. Yep. All right. We're going to take hands bound behind the back. So basically take your arms out to the side and spin the arms behind you. And you're reaching them behind you, and you're trying to find opposite hands behind the back in a reverse prayer. This is where the strap is also helpful here, right? If you want, you can take the strap and that can help you connect. And once you're in whatever variation of that you're in, you're just going to keep opening the tops of the shoulders, the head of the lungs. Yeah, but trying not to pop the ribs open. So keeping a sense of that the ribs are still kind of contained as you are finding. So you're, I don't know what I'm trying to say this morning. Yeah, but you can feel there's a little bit of a push-pull between those two things, right? And you can close your eyes here and breathe and just notice your inner experience. And again, choosing to attend your mind something that is joyful in this moment. Maybe allowing yourself to rest into that joyful place, maybe smile into it. Maybe just the feeling of your sit bones on the ground, feeling solid, feeling supported. That's a source of joy. Release the arms. All right. don't know what else we need this morning. I feel like we should come down on the back and do something really, really just gentle, loving. Okay, so come on down to the back. And since we have a strap nearby, we might as well use that. So first thing you're going to do is just hug both knees into your chest. And the invitation really for the next 10 minutes of the practice is you could feel free to ignore me and anything I'm leading and just do something that feels really just luscious and nurturing and loving for yourself. Yeah, if you're circling the knees, you can feel that massage into the sacrum, which feels really, well, it feels nice for me. All right, so a little bit of an inversion. We could take one leg up to the sky. If your low back is a little achy, keep the opposite leg, the knee bent with the foot to the floor. If your low back is fine, you can extend that leg. And then you have the strap nearby, so you can use the strap around the base of that foot. Yeah, but we're not gripping the strap for dear life. The arms are really relaxed. See how like loosey-goosey my elbows and shoulders are? I'm finding a space on the strap where I have contact, but it's like, it's supporting me. So I'm finding ease with it. Good. And then really flex that foot that's in the sky. So pull the toes back down towards your face and lift the heel away from you towards the ceiling. Notice where else in your body suddenly engages to help you do that. You might feel that the belly just pulled in. You might feel that as the belly pulls in, you stopped breathing and you started to hold your breath. Can you keep the breath flowing? Good. And then let's just take a moment to play with inner and outer hip opening here. So whichever you want to do first, we're going to go both ways. That inner hip opener takes the leg out to its own side. Yeah. And again, if you have a block nearby, you could just prop the outer shin on that block. If you're finding the strap to be helpful, keep with it. If you're finding the strap to create too much tension, you can drop it. But I like having the boundary. Yeah. Can you let the belly relax? Really breathe in and out. Can you let the face muscles relax, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead? And then you can bend the knee, bring it up through the center, and you can reach the leg across to the other side. And you could stay first with it in the sky where both of the low back, the sacrum is still on the ground. You're not going to get as far, but you'll feel a big outer IT band stretch here if you do that. And then at some point after opening that up, you can bring the leg all the way across and let the hip rise up. And now you're in a twist. So two different purposes to those poses. Can my breath stay calm? Can my breath help my mind to stay calm and free? You can bend that knee to bring it back up. And if you'd like, you could take a figure 4 stretch here, a reclining pigeon pose. And either drawing it in deeply for the maximal glute stretch, or maybe you feel like rocking side to side, whatever, again, whatever is supporting you this morning. And then we'll switch legs. So the right leg can extend and the left leg can go to the sky, using that strap if you choose. So I don't know about you, but there are certain poses that they definitely affect my mood, right? Like a certain pose, sometimes like it pisses you off a little bit or it like makes you angsty. And that's actually part of this practice this morning is to notice like, okay, when I'm feeling reactive and angsty and like annoyed, or whenever there's a strong emotion or thought that's arising, how do I bring awareness to that? And how do I bring freedom to that so it doesn't hook me in the same way? But you can open the leg out to one side and then the other. Just do your practice here. Relaxing whatever you can relax. Even that is a choice of free will, right? Noticing where there's tension, where there's stress, and what is one small thing I can bring more ease and comfort to. So coming back into that figure four on this side, if you did that on the other side. And then anything else you need in your body to feel complete. We have about 3 minutes left in the practice, so eat whatever poses and then find some Shavasana. And a suggestion for Shavasana is either come back to that thing you identified in the beginning meditation, some place where you don't quite feel free, you feel stuck, that you would like to find more freedom around, and just inquire more into that. How might you let that go, those thoughts? How might you bring more joy? That was the other part of the meditation. How can I bring more joy? Gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I'm aware of my own awareness. Breathing out, I am free. As you're ready, you can stretch your arms, wiggle your fingers and toes. And slowly making your way back up. Sit. Avadim hayinu lefaro b'mitzrayim ve'ata b'nei chorim. We were slaves, and now we are free. Shalom b'mamav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace grant us all peace in our lives, in our hearts, in our bodies, in our families, community, in the world. Amen. Happy Passover, everyone.
Have a beautiful holiday.
Have beautiful holidays, everybody.